Good morning to you, and how do you do? Good morning, good morning, good morning to you, YouTube viewers. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. My name is Julianajules. If you're new here, check out my content, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below. Now, let me turn off my car. I'm sitting in the parking lot. You know, it's Monday morning, and I have half an hour before I start work. I'm actually early this morning. Well, I'm early most days I'm early. And something's been on my mind for a while. So I'm like, why not make a video and, talk about it? And it's about getting my GED. What? Why do you need your GED? As I've disclosed before, I had my first daughter when I was 17. So I think I was in grade 10, about to go into grade 11, or I think I'd already started grade 11, when I had my daughter. And after I had her, I could have went back to school. I just chose not to, because my focus at the time was, wasn't school. It was being a mother and raising a child. So I never went back to school. It was always in the back of my head. I'm like, maybe, sorry, it's still kind of dark out here. I'm like, maybe one day I'll go back to school, or maybe I'll get my GED or whatever. And over the years, I just never, did it. Because I don't know how other countries are, but in Canada, once you're 19 and you've been out of high school for at least a year, you can apply and go to college. Depending on the program, or I think most programs, there's a test that you have to write. They test you on your English and your science. I think English and science, and maybe math as well. Like I said, depending on the course that you want to take. So I did go to college. I graduated with my social service worker diploma in 2009. And then in 2018, I graduated with my paralegal diploma. So a lot of people might, question, why are you still hung up on getting your GED? Because a lot of companies, a lot of jobs that you want to apply for, having a high school diploma or the equivalency or whatever, they still require that regardless, Okay, yeah, you have 2 college diplomas. Yeah, but we still want you to have your high school diploma or your, the GED. And I never quite understood that. I don't know why. I think that needs to be revisited. But when someone else has your income in their hands or whatever, I guess, or have their rules or whatever, I guess you just have to play with the rules. And while I'm in a job right now that I'm happy with, having a high school diploma wasn't a requirement. Like I said, I have the experience, I have the life experiences, I have the educational background and whatever. And I was able to get the job. But say, for instance, there's a promotion that comes up, or there's a different position in the company that I want to apply for. They might require a high school diploma. And regardless of whether or not I'm already in the company, if that other position that comes up requires you to have your high school diploma and you don't have it, or the equivalency and you don't have it, you can get passed up for that promotion. It's happened to me before. There's been times where I see this great job, great pay and everything, great benefits. And when I look at all the requirements, I had everything except my high school diploma or my GED. And I've had to pass on it. Or there's been times where I looked at the requirements of the job, the description, and I'm like, you know what? I know I don't have my high school diploma, but I'm gonna apply anyways. Maybe they'll like me enough and, not worry about it. So I go in, do the interview, check my references, get called back and be like, okay, yes, you're hired. But now you have to bring in all the documents, your high school diploma, your college diploma, your first state certificate, whatever. You have to bring in all the documents. Oh, I have everything, but So, and I was looking at a job description this weekend, the TTC, which is a great company to work for. And I'm like, I can't apply for it. Because like I said, even though I'm happy with my job right now, sometimes you always have to think, you have to look for bigger and better, you know? And they pay good to start off. They pay good. And the benefits are great. You know, when you retire, you get a good, what's that, pension or whatever. But I would not be able to apply for it just because of that one little requirement. I don't know why companies, I don't know, maybe I need to look more into that. I don't know why they have this requirement, because life experiences, you know, teach you a lot more than what's in the classroom. But like I said, if you want to play with them, you got to play by their rules, you know? And I have written the GED test before. I think back in 2011, or maybe a little bit before that. I can't remember exactly when. And I failed it because they test you on English. There's 3 different portions of the test: English, science, and math, I believe. And I passed 2 out of the 3. I failed on math. Math has never been my strong suit. And it's something that I always try to avoid it. The thing is, I'm in my job right now, I have to do a lot of math. I have to do a lot of crunching, you know, and the computer doesn't always do everything for me. There are times where I have to, you know, sit down and analyze and go through, because I work in property management. So if a tenant comes to you and they have a balance, they want to know what the balance is for. Yeah, I can easily look at it and say, yeah, the balance is for this, it's for that, or whatever. But for some people, they're anal about their shit. So it has to make sense. So I have to make it make sense to them. It's more complicated than just saying, oh, it's for you short paid on rent 1 month. Like, I have to break it down. And sometimes, or some people might have a balance. They might have like a $500 balance or whatever, not balance, sorry, credit. And like I said, I could easily tell them what the credit is for, but they want to know. And the other day, I had a situation like that. One of the property managers asked me to create a statement of account, and I had to go back to the last time the tenant was at $0. They've never been at $0. Never. They moved in 2014, and we're in 2020. And they started off with a credit. It started off at 2 cents, you know, and then it's like every month they were paying their rent by an extra 2 cents. And then it went from 2, 4, 6, and it added up and added up and added up. And then there were some other months, you know, throughout the years where they had canceled parking sort of thing, and they kept paying for it. So I had to go through their ledger from 2014 until now, and, you know, to break it down to them. So even though I was running from math, it still catches up to me in my later years. And I was good at math in school until they started adding the X, Y, the XZ, the letters. I'm like, why you guys just like to complicate things? Why? And I still don't understand it, but, you know, I'll get there eventually. So I think, or maybe not. It's been, you know, it's taken me this long and I still don't understand it. But I looked into it this weekend. In order to do my GED, the process is I have to send in an application. There's $100 fee. And then I have to get a letter from the last school that I've attended, the last high school I attended, which there was a lot. But the last one that I attended, I have to get a letter from them saying the last time I was in high school, that I didn't graduate, whatever, and then send it in. The messed up thing is, because of COVID, they don't have any testing dates. So I just have to get everything together, send in the application, and then when they have dates available, then they'll contact me and say, there's this date and whatever. And there's only one organization that does the GED in Ontario, where I live. And And there are like specific cities. The closest one to me is Toronto. But it's in Barrie, it's in Guelph, it's in Hamilton or whatever, Ottawa, like the major cities, some of the major cities. So I'm going to sit again and write the test. I know before, because I've already written it, I would have just had to go back and do the math portion. But because it's been, so many years, I think I might have to do everything all over again. And hopefully this time, I'm successful. And for those out there, the younger generation, take this as a warning. Take it as a warning. Your high school diploma it's important. It's important. And that's why I pushed so hard to make sure that my daughter graduated high school, which she did this year, in June. She wasn't able to go to her graduation and, have a graduation ceremony or prom or anything like that because, of COVID. But I'm very proud of her that she graduated. She's at a higher stage than I was when I was at her age, She's not a teen mother, thank God. Thank God! I broke the cycle. It stopped with me. My mom wasn't a teen mom, but, usually teen moms, when you're a teen mom, sometimes it creates a cycle, and I stopped it with me. And I'm thankful for that. So, kids that are in school right now, pay attention. Your high school diploma is important. Or even if you don't graduate high school, go get that GED. And even if you think you don't need it right now, at some point in life, there might be a job that you want to apply for. And if you don't have that GED or your high school diploma, it's going to hold you back. It's going to hold you back. So just pay attention and don't just do your work and be like, oh, I got a 50, which is the minimum to pass in a lot of schools, and think that's okay. Because when it comes to university, they look at your marks. They look at your grades. I'll give you an example. In 2009, when I graduated from college with my social service worker diploma, I applied to York University. And I was accepted. I wasn't accepted for the program that I wanted because I was going to do my social work, the bachelor program. And I applied for it. Usually colleges have a bridging program with certain universities. So it makes it easier for you to get into the college. The university, not necessarily the program that you want, to apply for, but it makes it a little bit easier. So I applied for the social worker or the social work bachelor program, and that program is very, very competitive. I had to write a letter of why I wanted to become a social worker, that sort of thing. There's some other requirements. I can't remember exactly what they are right now. And I didn't get in. I got in for psychology, which I did for 1 year. And then after the 1 year, I'm like, you know what? It's something I'm interested in, but I didn't want to continue it. And plus it was super expensive. And I did my 1 year and I just never continued. But they look at the grades, they look at how many, and a lot of times too, they want to sometimes they'll ask for a letter of reference from your previous professors, sort of thing. So if you're not a good student, you're a slacker, you're just doing the bare minimum, it's going to catch up to you. And I know some people, it's hard for them to, they have learning disabilities and stuff like that. But the schools have programs there to help you. They have programs there to help you, especially in college. When you pay your tuition, it comes with all of that. That's what people need to pay attention to. Unfortunately, I didn't. At the first time I went to college, I did not realize that. But once you pay your college tuition, it covers dental. I can't talk. I'm always putting a TH. But it covers, counseling. It covers dental care and whatever. So pay attention to that. Take advantage. And what time is it right now? It's 8:21. I'm going to go into work. But yeah, just pay attention. You know, if you don't have your GED, I would suggest you go and get it. I mean, unless you don't really care about certain things or whatever. But there are a lot of jobs that will require it. And your high school diploma or your GED, it's never too late. If you're someone who has a hard time taking tests, there are accommodations that you can ask for, you know, that will either give you more time. I don't know what exactly they all are, but there are things that you can look into and you can request. So that's basically why I want to go and get my GED, and I will be successful this time. I will. And even if I'm not, I'm going to keep continuing. I'm going to keep redoing the test. Like I said, I've done it before and I only failed on the math portion. I passed the English and the science portion. But yeah, if you've made it to the end of the video, give me a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. And if you guys, you know, have this experience, you know what I'm talking about. If you weren't a high school graduate and you are going to go back and get your GED, comment in the comment section and let me know what your experience was, why you chose to, sort of thing. But thank you for watching and have a nice day, y'all. Bye.